This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
This is Brandon with Believe in the Run.
New guy alert. Today we're reviewing the New Balance FuelCell Propel V3. This shoe last year was like, people didn't love it, our reviewers didn't love it. It's Dave, Thomas, and Megan reviewed this, not Dave Thomas, the Wendy's guy. And they liked it as like a maybe firmer, not necessarily a tempo day shoe, but it can be used for that more than a daily trainer. Pretty lightweight shoe altogether. We moved on to the third version, which honestly is pretty much the exact same, which you don't know.
I did not know that,
but
now I know.
New Balance was actually like, we don't have a spec sheet for this, just used last year. So I was like, all right, we're there. But anyways, let's talk about how we like the shoe, if we like the shoe, since it was the first time wearing the Propel line for either of us, really. Brandon, why don't you talk about the upper a little bit?
So the upper is incredibly breathable. I found that when I put it on my feet and I laced up for the first time, that upper, I was just like, oh man. Like, I know, like, first off, whether like I'm gonna like a shoe based on the upper. Like, that's always my first instinct. A lot of people like always go with the midsole first. For me, it's gonna be the upper. Does it lock down well? That is always the big question for me and what I love the most. And in this case, it does. It absolutely locks down super, super well.
I feel like this is my problem with the New Balance shoes in general. A lot of times the Beacon felt the same way to me last year. Just a little too much room in the forefoot. I don't know. I like that narrow Nike fit. Put me in a pigs in a blanket and let me run.
I definitely like hear what you're saying, because I'm definitely the same way as you. Definitely want that narrow fit. I didn't really notice it as much as you, and I've got a pretty narrow foot, so that's different. I think traditionally a lot of shoes are moving with the wider toe box, and I've sort of just conceded to the fact that we're gonna have kind of a wider toe box movement going on.
This is an gusseted tongue, by the way. I didn't have any issues with it sliding around, but I don't know, did you?
No, I think with the tongue, it's just super thin, and it's really breathable, and it's got really no issues. It's sort of just there, and it's sort of hanging out. It's got a little bit of padding, but other than that, it's a pretty simple tongue.
Yeah, altogether, pretty simple upper. Now, I should say this is a $100 daily trainer, which is what I would consider a budget daily trainer, anything under $100. So for what it's worth, we'll get into that a little bit further. You're not gonna get a ton of cushion, a ton of upper, lots of overlays, nothing like that. I mean, it's pretty simple altogether. We do have the FuelCell midsole. Now, FuelCell is one of our favorite midsole materials. It's been used in shoes like the Rebel V2, which like we're freaking out about this year. It's one of our favorite shoes. It's used in the Prism, well, obviously the RC Elite 2, the TC, and it's a beautiful midsole. Now, New Balance does tune it into different durometers, so depending on which shoe you're in, you're gonna get a different firmness or softness. So for instance, the RC Elite 2, fairly soft, although very bouncy. This one, I found to be a little firm.
Yeah, this shoe for me is going to work really well on those tempo days. Like, I'm gonna throw this on for shorter distances, but days that I still wanna go a little quick, maybe not like workout interval quick. I can definitely see myself doing like a few long runs in it. This can, kind of work for those daily miles as well.
Yeah, I did feel the same way. I mean, there's definitely enough cushions to get you, like, you can do a long run in it, especially if you like a firmer or a faster feel. With the weight here, we got a men's 9. It's 8.9 ounces or 252 grams, so it's actually pretty light on the foot. You could put it in that lightweight daily trainer category.
Yeah. And
it does pick up when you need it to, for sure. And it rolls along pretty nicely, I have to say. This also comes with their endurance rubber sole, outsole, and it grips pretty well, but what do you think?
So on my first run, it was with the Faster Bastards, and we did like a 10 miler, and it started to rain like halfway through the run.
I was on that run.
Yeah, and I think I was cornering on a turn, and I'm not like this like amazing stable runner anyway, but still, like this outsole grip, it definitely
gave out a little.
Yeah, it gave out a little bit. I almost wiped out. I don't know if you saw that.
I need to get faster so I can laugh at you.
Yeah, I was cornering a turn and I literally almost wiped out. And Megan was just like, Jesus, you have a race in like 2 weeks, and you're wiping out already. And I think it had something to do with the outsole. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've run only 30 miles in this shoe, and I found that the outsole's in the one area that I would want to see some improvement.
I will say for $100, it is a pretty good deal. I think there's some other $100 trainers out there, looking at you, Brooks, that are not as fun as this shoe. One shoe that this did remind me of was the Under Armour Velocity Wind. I felt like they have a very similar roll and bounce and just feel to them. Except the Under Armour Velocity Wind is $160 because that's a rip-off and should not be the price of that shoe in any world. But this is, I think, like a pretty solid shoe for $100.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be that like bang for your buck sort of shoe if you're looking for something on a budget, but also is only going to get you maybe 250 miles, maybe. That's probably where I would estimate this shoe going.
I don't know. I will say,
so,
if you're looking to get $100 for a shoe, you're gonna put 500 into it, whether or not. I know.
I personally am not putting 500 miles into this shoe.
It used to be me. I was so cheap. I didn't want to buy any shoes, so I just put like 500 miles.
If you look, like, these guys are gonna get wrecked after about 300 miles.
Dude, I've seen people wear Atreus for 900 miles.
It was 1,000 miles. What was something ridiculous? It was
not normal.
Yeah. Well, I think he was just flexing, like whoever that guy was. But that's just my opinion. I also just love the design of this shoe. I think it's a smart looking shoe. I think the colors are great for the summer. I think that's like one of those things that for me, like a little bit of style, like really adds another plus to the shoe. Looks really nice.
I was wearing this shoe with some really short Tracksmith shorts out in the country roads of central Pennsylvania, and I thought I could get my ass kicked for wearing this. That means it's probably a pretty shoe. Other shoes I would compare this to, maybe like in Kavar, it's not as firm for sure. Just basically some more lightweight up-tempo shoes. Stack on this shoe is 30 in the heel, 24 in the toe for a 6mm drop. So yeah, it's not like you're gonna be way up on your toes, but it has just a nice amount of drop to keep you rolling. All right, so thanks for watching, and don't bash Brandon in the comments. This is his first video. So
yeah, it hurt my feelings.
If you see my first video, I should delete my first video. It's probably the worst thing that anyone's ever seen.
I'll hide it, don't worry.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Anyways, check us out on Strava, on Facebook, on Instagram. Check out the Drop podcast.
The Drop.
And
we have a nutrition.
We have a nutrition podcast, Fuel for the Soul. Oh, we have all kinds of stuff out there. So
yeah, definitely.
Brandon's throwing it all on the screen down there below. By the
way,
it's
all right here somewhere.
This is the guy that edits it, so he's the one who always makes me look like awesome.
Garbage. Oh.
I was gonna say garbage.
Say garbage anyway.
Anyways, so thanks for watching, and stick around for some more New Balance reviews and a bunch of other stuff coming out very soon.
Cool. All right.
Peace.
We're all done. All right,
Brandon's first video review. I keep thinking you have a camouflage hat on.
Camouflage hat?
Yeah, it's like you're going hunting.
It kind of is.
I know. Are you going hunting? Big buck hunter.
Dude, I've actually never gone hunting, but I heard it's wild.
Have you ever played Big Buck Hunter in the arcade?
I have. Basically all the time.
There's no difference.
Right, when you go to like the bowling alley, and then like after you're hanging out at the bowling alley, there's like a little arcade. You can go like Big Buck Hunter.
Yeah, there's no difference between that and actual hunting. It's like when you watch the Karate Kid, then you can do karate. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's basically where I learned all my karate moves.
Good.
So not like the old Karate Kid. It was like the new like Jaden Smith rendition where it was like super like woke and new and like.
I'm old.
Yeah, but that one sucked. So.
All right, let's do this.